Hello, everyone. Welcome to Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by my co-host once again, Gage Berdovich, Gordon Chatterton, and we're here at the NFL Conference Championship Pick'ems here. Guys, we're down to the Final Four of the NFL. Some seen these teams in here, some didn't. Guys, how we doing after last week?
Oh, a lot of controversy last week, that's for sure. A lot of controversy.
Just a little bit.
I'm good. My pick sucked, but the one I got right was the only one I'm cared got right.
I also went 1-3 last week in the picks. Gage, I think you went. Did you go 2-2 last week? I think 2-2. Maybe somebody should go back and review the tape. I don't know. I mean, some people slacking on here lately, but hey, it is what it is. I know I went 1-3. Gordon says he went 1-3 as well. We went all road teams, and it didn't work out so well.
But you know what? If I did go 2-2, I'll take it. I'll take a win any way I can freaking get it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But so last week we had the divisional round matchups, and let's just go ahead. Let's start at the beginning here with it. And the Denver Broncos defeat the Buffalo Bills 33-30 in overtime. This game may be the one you're talking about, a little controversy here, Gage. This happened here. Denver defeats Buffalo. And then after the game, they interview Bo Nix on the field. Everything's good. And then an hour later, Sean Payton comes back out after his press conference and be like, yeah, by the way, Bo Nix has a broken ankle and is out for the rest of the season. And he did that to the second to last play in overtime. When? He kneeled down. What play are you talking about? So, that was a shocker to everybody, I believe. Nobody thought that was happening. Nobody's seen that coming.
Jarrett Stidham, you are the man. It is going to be your time now. It might be an underdog pick coming this week, right?
Ooh, wow, that's a little preview there for later. All right, we'll get into that here in a little bit. But Gordon, what did you think about this game here?
I thought Josh, the alien played like the wrong kind of alien. He played like an alien that never seen a football before because he couldn't hold on to the thing. By the way, I got to throw something in here. Had nothing to do with this game. Screw Bears. Okay, I'm back.
And we'll get to them in a little bit. You can go back to it again. But hey, this game right here, good game overall. They go into overtime. But, man, like you said, Josh Allen was just not the same guy. And we need to have a serious conversation here against Josh Allen. I think I may have sent you a message, Gage, after this. I said maybe it was Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Tell me the difference.
Yeah. They both choke. They are playoff choke artists. Now, the roster, I can say both of these teams. They have good running backs. Derrick Henry's good. James Cook is good. What else do they got? There's not a real number one wide receiver or even a number two receiver.
They got good tight ends.
Both of them do, yeah.
Yeah, but there's only so much a tight end can do.
Yeah.
You're asking them to do a lot. You're asking them to be in the passing game. Chip, go out on routes when they're not fast. A lot of tight ends. There's some tight ends that are fast. I think Isaiah Lake's got speed to them. A lot of them just run you over, but they're easier to cover. Whereas if you have a number one receiver, you're going to be better off. If you have a Puka, Devontae Adams, I don't know why I just named those guys from the Rams, but if you have them isolated on their own team, they're still going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's the same thing, because we get on Lamar every year after year for choking. And I think we got to start getting after Josh Allen. This was your year, man. The big guys that's beat you every year weren't in this playoffs. You had a clear path to get there. All you had to do was beat Denver. And if you don't turn the ball over so many times, like that one fumble he had, looked like he just threw it backwards himself. Like, what are we doing out here, man? You've got to be smarter than that.
It's a lot of just boneheaded plays going on. And you had 2 interceptions on top of it. You mentioned the tight ends. Kincaid's the leading receiver for the Bills, 6 for 83 and a touchdown. Right behind him is Khalil Shakir, who I think Shakir is not a true number one in the NFL. I think if you get another good guy with him, he could be probably your best number 2 in the league. But being a number one, he's not a number one.
I think they were trying to make Keon Coleman their new number one last year when they drafted him, and we've seen where that's gotten them. Right, nowhere.
Well,
He had a touchdown.
They take him out of the games. I mean, he sat 2 games at healthy scratch. You can't be a number one if you can't see the damn field.
I mean, whose fault's that, though? Like, you've got to also
think-
produce when you go in the game.
I think it's kind of both.
Yeah, it's
Kind of
probably.
both.
I mean, the coaches can only play what they see. You know, I'm sure Sean McDermott's not just holding them out. I mean, the Bengals drafted Jermaine Burton in the 3rd round a couple of years ago, and he didn't see the field at all this season. He had all the potential in the world, but he would not show up to practices. He would show up late, and he just wouldn't put in the work. So, I mean, it's on both of them right there. You've got the potential to do it, but you also got to come out and do it too as well. You can't just show up and play. So I get it from both sides there.
And did you guys know before that game that McCole Hardman was in Buffalo?
No, not until he caught the touchdown pass. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he was on my team at the beginning of the year.
So I didn't even know that.
Because I think at one point, like not long before this game, Buffalo released McCole Hardman. So I don't know at what point they brought him back. Or if they're like, actually, McCole, you're not released. We need another guy up here because Shavers, I think, shaved his ACL off. I'm not pretty sure.
Now, the big controversy coming out of this game, Gage, you alluded to it earlier. I'm going to ask you guys right here. Do you think Brandon Cooks caught that ball, or do you think they made the right call with the interception on the field? Gordon, what do you think?
I watched the game. I watched the replays. I watched all of them. I rewound it, watched it again, and from what I can tell, he had the ball. His knee hit the ground before he got stripped. I think it was a catch, as far as I'm concerned. That was a catch. It was not a pick. Same thing happened the next night, and they showed that Devontae Adams had his knee down, same as the other night, but it was ruled a catch. Same scenario.
Gage, what do you think?
I don't know. It's one of those questions that we've asked for years that we don't really know what a catch is in the NFL.
No.
We know one thing's for sure: never hit the ground. So we know there's no way that's an incomplete, right? We know the ball never got to the ground in general, so we know it wasn't a catch and a fumble that was taken away by the. What I like, obviously, a tie has always gone to.
Yeah.
Never goes to the. But on a play like that, if the ruling on the field is an interception or an incomplete pass, it's almost super hard to turn it over because you got to have clear cut evidence. Blah blah.
Inconclusive, yeah.
I think if the ball gets taken away from your receiver like that, I think it's a personal opinion. So I think the Rams game, I think that should have been a pick. Right? I think it's the same situation. They should have been called the same. No matter what. No matter you call it incomplete both, you call it interception.
Well, I had the issue of calling it a pick in the first one. It's because the guy was on his back and had control of the ball. So he was down, touching the ground and being touched. He was down. The play should have been right from there. The defender's hand came off the ball for a second. Then he grabbed it again when he was already down. That's why I'm saying it was a catch. It couldn't have been a pick because he didn't have control of the ball the whole time. He didn't have a hand on the ball the whole time. All right, I'm sorry. Y'all go ahead.
I think there's arguments for both.
Yeah, there was a famous, did he catch the ball a long time ago? About 10 years ago, maybe, Gordon in the divisional round with Dez Bryant, and I believe that went your way in that game there. But
I saw that one too. I know why that one was called an incomplete pass.
yeah, what I do know about this is we don't really know what a catch is. I mean, they explain it differently every time. Like Gordon said, he come down, his knee's on the ground, he's got control of the ball. Usually, if you're a runner, that's down, by contact. He had a guy on him, and then he just lays on the ground, you rip it out. I don't know. Something seemed off on that one there. But let's go to, a guy who is probably a top 5 quarterback in the league. He tweeted for the first time in 2 years after this on Sunday, and that would be Joey B. Joe Burrow at Joey B on X said, the amount of people that don't understand what a catch is in the rule book flabbergasts me. And it's not the officials. The 2 plays yesterday were not difficult calls, and they both got them right. So that's Joe Burrow's thoughts on these things.
I would like
Well,
to
Joe,
point out,
obviously you don't know what a catch is either. You're not a receiver. You're a quarterback. You don't know what a catch is.
I would also like to point out that this here was also ruled incomplete. This is Jesse James, the championship game against
The
Patriots.
Road Dog. Never mind. Different Jesse James.
But
I
no
can't
one
remember.
touched him.
I can't remember that play, but there's quite a few times I've seen plays where they call them incomplete pass, and I thought, how the hell can you call it an incomplete pass? It didn't touch the ground. Their hand was in between the ball and the ground, but for some reason they call them an incomplete pass because they see it jiggle, so it looked like it hit the ground. But when you look at it, you zoom in, it didn't touch the ground, and they do that all the time. I think
It's
they're
just like-
hometown refs.
It was just like a couple weeks ago in the first meeting. It was one of the meetings between the Steelers and the Ravens. Isaiah Likely in the end zone has possession, and then it gets knocked away after 2.5 steps, and it's called incomplete.
Yeah.
That to me should have been a touchdown, and they ruled it incomplete, and it was kept as incomplete.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. I didn't know. They said he bobbled it a little bit while he was, and then got knocked away, so he didn't have full possession. I think that's horse honky. They tell you all the time, if you touching the ball and you cross the plane, it doesn't matter if the ball gets knocked out, you fumble, it doesn't matter.
As long as the nose of the ball crosses that plane, it doesn't matter what happens after that. It's what it's supposed to be, unless now it's a catch. If you're a runner and you're doing that, it's just as long as it crosses. But if it's a catch in the end zone, you've got to get 2 feet, you got to get a butt cheek, you got to get a hand, and you got to get a couple eyeballs down on the ground first before it's a catch anymore. They're going to have to go over what a catch is in the offseason once again. They're going to have this discussion once again because of this play right here, or the 2 plays that's over the weekend.
Oh, you forgot. You got to drag the third testicle too.
Yeah, toe drag swag and testicle drag swag, I guess, out there now is what you got to have. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, in a year from now, we're going to be having this exact same conversation.
It's going to happen. And we're not ever going to have it until they come out, specifically and call them the same way that they do. Like you said, they call it one way Saturday night. Sunday night, they call it the totally opposite way, leading us to be like, what is a catch? Somebody please explain it, or please be consistent with it. That's all we're asking. Just give us a little consistency on what is a catch in the NFL. It shouldn't be that hard.
I don't think we ever have this issue in college ball that much. I've
No,
never
we
heard
don't.
of a college ball issue.
No, we don't really.
Oh, there was a few in college this past year. Misses, there was way worse missed calls and calls, and so we was kind of focused on the stuff they really screwed up.
Yeah, but so the other thing about this game here, we'll move past the catching stuff here. But did anybody see where Bo Nix broke his ankle? Can anybody pinpoint that? I can't. I've watched look back at the last plays of the overtime, and I cannot see where he
got tackled or something, and it was one of the plays where they was actually trying to move, he scrambled and got tackled, and I said that's where it happened, but
he got right back up.
Like
that's what I'm saying. The play he was alluding to, that's what the one I think you're talking about, Gordon. The one that Peyton, I guess, was alluding to, not the kneel down, but the one before that or 2 before that. They showed it on replay, and you can't see where he's done anything because he gets up like nothing's wrong. I know you got adrenaline, but if you break your ankle, you're going to feel that.
Yeah, and walked just fine.
Yeah, even did the kneel downs. If you've broke your ankle, that's going to be kind of hard to do a kneel down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I'm
know.
trying to,
Go ahead.
I'm trying to find anything where it says something. One article that I'm seeing is got hurt on a keeper. He lost 2 yards, tackled by the safety, was limping after the play. No indication that he suffered such a serious injury. And then the very next play was his touchdown pass to Marvin Mims. That drew a it was a deep pass to Marvin Mims that drew a 30-yard pass interference flag, got the Broncos one field goal. But I just don't get it. If you have a broken ankle, he has a broken ankle.
Yeah.
That's gonna hurt. I don't care how much adrenaline you have going.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to move on a broken freaking ankle.
Right. It's different than a sprained ankle. Now, Kurt Angle did win an Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck, but that's a little bit different set of circumstances there.
His neck is also out to here, so a little bit of stability in there.
Right.
We're gonna get into coaches later, ain't we?
Oh yeah, we're getting into coaches a little bit. We'll go ahead. We'll pause right here for that. Let's go ahead. After that game, the Bills fired their head coach Sean McDermott after 9 seasons. I believe playoffs every season, if not almost every season. I think it's been 7.
No, the first few, remember, because the first few he didn't have Josh Allen yet.
Well, yeah, the first one though, Andy Dalton to Tyler Boyd to beat the Ravens helped Buffalo get in the playoffs for the first time in 18 years, and the Bills fans donated to Andy Dalton's foundation. That was before Josh Allen. I think he had a couple of years where Josh Allen was his first few years. I don't think they made the playoffs. Made the playoffs several years as Buffalo's head coach.
I can't remember who did he start at quarterback at.
Tyrod Taylor.
No, he was bad.
Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, a couple games. I remember I had the Chargers defense that year, and they played the Buffalo Bills. And by halftime, the Chargers defense had 41 points. They had 5 interceptions, and 3 of them they took to the house.
Yeah, they've come a long way since Nathan Peterman at the quarterback position in Buffalo, for sure.
McDermott's first year was 2017, and his quarterbacks were Tyrod Taylor, Nathan Peterman, and Joe Webb. And they went 9-7.
That's the year the Bengals helped him in by beating the Ravens his first year.
And 2018 was the only year McDermott did not.
And that was Josh Allen's rookie season.
They went 6-10.
So, what did you guys think? You think this, you think the Bills made the right move here? The owner, I mean, he did not help himself in the press conferences about this. I don't think.
No, definitely not.
It all depends on who he's going to hire.
They're interviewing Brian Daboll for the position.
There was rumor that Tarbill.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't
Bill
do it right
Belichick.
now. Yeah, I wouldn't do it right now.
But he's got a quarterback. Remember, that's what his problem was after Tom Brady left. He couldn't find a quarterback.
Well, I mean, Mac Jones stepped in, played good for Jacksonville last year. He stepped in good, played for 49ers this year. I don't know.
Well, Mac Jones, remember, he had a defensive coordinator. The guy that's defensive coordinator for my college team was the offensive coordinator for the Patriots that year.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels makes a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, they had my defensive coordinator as their offensive coordinator that year. That ain't gonna help him out any. I
just think that the time has passed for Bill Belichick in the NFL, if you ask me.
I think going back to McDermott here, I don't know if he was necessarily the problem. I think the guy that they promoted within the organization was more of a problem than Sean McDermott.
Isn't his name Billy Bean?
Brandon Bean. Yeah.
I'm just going to call him Billy for now because I like that a little bit more than Brandon Bean.
Look.
He's such a horrible draft.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like, I have a list here of different draft pick misses. Like, you got Kyer Elam. He was the first draft pick. Deion Coleman was the second draft pick. Cody Ford. Zach Moss, who I don't even know if he's still in the NFL. Boshawn Joseph. You might be saying who? I'm saying that too. Jake Fromm. I think his best pick might have been Horizon, and he's no longer on the team.
He's in Kansas City. You had Max Harrison this year, first round pick from Kentucky. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, I think you're right here. I think the GM should have been held accountable. I believe he's the GM now, but player personnel right there. McDermott can only coach the players he's got out there. Like, hey, maybe they should have let him go out and get some of his players. I mean, Bill Parcells always says, you want me to cook the meal, you should at least let me shop for the groceries. You got to let your head coach in on some of this too. But he's always getting the blame when it should be, I don't know, the people drafting the players that's coming in.
Like you said, he can only work with what he's got. It felt like their receiver room is kind of like the Steelers a little bit this year. Let's bring in guys that they're old, they're vets. Maybe they can help us out a little bit. You got McCole Hardman out there, 1 catch, 4 yards, and a touchdown. Brandon Cooks, who started out the season with the Saints, got waived, picked up by Buffalo. He didn't do good in the regular season. He didn't do good last week. He did good in the wild card weekend. I'll give him that. Yeah. But last week he had 2 catches, 20 yards. It's like you're bringing in these guys. You got to do better for Josh. I feel bad for him. Maybe at the same time, Josh, you shouldn't.
Yeah, that also hurts too. And what'd you guys think about Josh Allen's post game where he was crying, saying that he let his teammates down, and Deion Dawkins was crying, be like, he ain't let us down.
They let each other.
Yeah, the other defense didn't help much either on that side either. But yeah, and they haven't all season long. Their defense has been bad most of the season.
I think it was kind of known internally, maybe, that if we don't go all the way, Sean's gone.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I will take Sean McDermott over my head coach right now. I would do that. I would fire Zach Taylor to go get Sean McDermott. I think he's a good coach.
I would like to say the same, but I don't have a head coach right now.
Hire him.
I don't want them to hire like McDermott or anyone like that.
Hold on. I've got to step in here, Gage. Breaking news. The Pittsburgh Steelers hire Mike McCarthy as their head coach.
I hate you.
Yes.
I hate you.
Serious? They did?
No, he's being a jack.
I pulled up my phone and put me. You serious?
Dude, I was like glancing over at my phone waiting for the ESPN notification. And then I remembered the conversation we had this past weekend. And then I also thought, there's no way he brought that up on here. Has a little headline here at the bottom.
Oh, man, that's great. I can only hope. I can only hope.
No.
All right.
I'm trying to find where we talked about it last week. I said something really fun. And I don't know.
Oh, I can't remember, but I remember, man, I can only hope that happens for my sake. So, the other game we've got here from Saturday, the Seahawks blow out the Niners 41-6. Boy, Gordon, we went 49ers on this one here.
Yep.
And yeah, that was a miss on our part. My bad.
I think
That's
all of us did, and we all missed badly. I mean, if we had been playing basketball, that would need a brick would have been called that a blessing. That was a air ball that hit the free throw line. I mean, shit, that was bad.
This was the game where I had like my special prediction, and I said Eric Kendricks over 1.5 seconds. And I think he had what, 6 total tackles.
It's not good. Not good at all.
Well, they
You know.
didn't pressure Darnold at all.
Well, no.
They didn't even try.
Look, the game was over on the opening kickoff when Raheed Shaheed took that kickoff all the way to the house. The fans were in it, and they never let up the whole time, and it just rattled the Niners, and Seattle just kept the pressure up on them. And that was it. That's all it took. One play like that, and it just changes the whole complexion of the game from the start.
You know, I expected, after we did our predictions, I was like, man, I don't think the Niners are going to win. The Seahawks are probably going to win, but it's going to be close. I would not have predicted a 35 points blow.
They just kept coming and coming and coming. I mean, once that avalanche started rolling, I mean, it was over.
It's Raheed Shaheed, Need for Speed on the seed.
And so I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about in this game right here. Blowout. Seattle looked like the whole. I mean, you see why they won the West right there. You know, they beat a division rival, beat them down.
The backups were in like 10 minutes.
Drew Lock got some run in this game here, but after that was over with, a couple days later, I mean, if your defense gives up 41 points and you're another NFL team, you're like, you know what? I want that defensive coordinator to come coach for me. And that leads us to the Tennessee Titans hire Robert Saleh as their head coach. Guys, is this a good hire? Is this a good spot for Saleh to go to?
No.
But it's horrible. It feels like if you were going to like play matchmaker, this is exactly what you would have chosen because it's the Titans.
Let me ask you the question here. What's the difference between his last head coaching spot and this head coaching spot?
That's exactly what I'm like, what
Not much.
is this is a perfect fit for each other.
The team I thought he was the best fit for, neither one of you guys would have liked it.
Cleveland.
Baltimore.
You only would have loved that.
Because he's got a thing for accountability, and that's what Baltimore didn't have last year.
Yeah.
Well, the Jets just couldn't be accountable because you can't be accountable when you just flat out suck. You're being, I'm accountable. I suck. Okay.
Hey, when he was there with New York, that defense was pretty good, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at least they got an interception. You know, more than what you could say this year with Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
I didn't think this was a very good spot for him to land, and not the best look. Leaving 41. Giving up 41 points and Tennessee being like, you know what, that's our guy.
And the timing of it too was just so funny because it was at like midnight, whichever day it was that they did it.
Monday
It was
night.
like, you know what? Well, it was like, you know what? Maybe if we do this late at night, a lot of people just won't see the notification, and no one will know.
Yeah. So before we get to Sunday's games, let's talk about another one. You mentioned the Ravens, Gordon, and the Giants hired John Harbaugh.
Yeah,
I guess it's an okay hire for them.
Yeah.
it's like 5 years, 100 million.
I mean, they need rebuilt, and they already got a quarterback and a running back,
And a wide receiver.
a decent defensive line, got a good receiver. They just got to get a couple good tight ends for John Harbaugh's offensive system.
Yeah, Theo Johnson's probably not going to cut it there, but they got a couple good. I mean, Malik Neighbors, if he comes back healthy next year, Wandale, he went over 1,000 yards this year. I mean, the pieces are there for the Giants. Just maybe that's all they needed was Harbaugh there. So I think it's a good fit for the Giants.
And as long as Scadabo can stay healthy, they're going to fit perfectly in the Harbaugh.
Yeah, I think so too. And then the Falcons hired Kevin Stefanski, former Cleveland Brown head coach. What do y'all think about this hire right here?
Good for us.
Yeah, I'm mixed in between this one. Stefanski was one of the guys that, in the back of my mind, I was like, Pittsburgh will get him. He's a 2-time Coach of the Year in Cleveland. That's pretty impressive right there. But he goes from a situation where you're locked up with a quarterback, contract-wise, Deshaun Watson, horribly, to a situation where you're still locked up with a quarterback and Kirk Cousins.
It's not as long. I think it's the last year of his deal, wasn't it?
2 years. He's got 2 years left.
Okay.
But I think also if they were to just cut Kirk, it wouldn't be nearly as much as a hit to the cap as if they got rid of Deshaun. But I think it's going to be good. I don't know what saying that to me. I think Stefanski, the Falcons, underrated higher, and Falcons might make the playoffs next year.
If he's got a somewhat competent quarterback, just somewhat, at least the games look respectable when they play.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of the games, yeah. I mean, when he played the Bengals and stuff, yeah, maybe they didn't, but not every team has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. You know, they just don't have that on offense. So I think Stefanski is a good hire. I'd probably give it an 80 out of 100.
Yeah, I agree with you here. I think it's a good hire. And Kirk Cousins, guys, he did not play so bad this last half of the season this year that he got to play coming in for Penix. But I think that he's probably going to bring in a different quarterback. I don't think he's going to have Michael Penix back there quarterbacking for him. But, you know, if he gets his guy in there, because he got saddled with Deshaun Watson. Before that trade right there, I mean, Coach of the Year, led the Browns to the playoffs. And then they decide we need to take it further. We need to get to a Super Bowl. Let's get Deshaun Watson and trade a whole bunch of picks and give him this huge deal. Yeah. Boy, you talk about a bad, trade-off there. Worst trade in NFL history.
I think he's played 4 games.
It's not been much, but...
I mean, in the past 3.5 years, 4 years. I think he's
played
4 games.
He played some last year, 2024, I think, and then got that Achilles injury.
I think he only played 2 games.
According to this, he's played 19 games.
Yeah, he played quite a bit of the 2024 season.
Okay, well...
He played 7 and 24 and 6 and 22.
Well, maybe I just said how bad he played.
Yeah, he wasn't impressive when he was there. No.
The only one having stats is whoever came in to do mop-up duty after he shit the bed.
Well, Joe Flacco took him to the playoffs in 2023, you know. So, I mean, if that tells you anything, Stefanski, he's already done it with an old quarterback. Maybe he could do it again with Kirk Cousins, but I think it's a good hire for the Falcons there. I think they got a pretty good one there.
And like 23, like you mentioned, to the playoffs. The 6 games that Deshaun played, they went 5-1. Now, his stats weren't the best. Played 61% of passes, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks. But they still went 5-1.
So we'll go ahead and do it now. Today, the newest coach that was hired, the Baltimore Ravens, hired Jesse Minter as head coach. Gage, this is our division right here. This is our rival. What do you think about this hire?
I don't know if I don't like it just because it's Baltimore, or if I don't like it because I don't think Jesse Minter will make a good head coach. Unless this guy went and coached the Patriots with prime Tom Brady, I don't think he would be a good head coach. The Chargers, coming over from the Chargers, you were the defensive coordinator. The defense wasn't horrible. Any sorts of imagination. Some tells me he's just not going to be. They're going to regret getting rid of John. Let me put it. I think that right now, if you're looking at the division next year, it's a toss-up for who wins it. Obviously, I don't think Cleveland's going to win it, so it's going to be a toss-up between the other 3 teams. I don't think hiring Jesse Minter is going to be that edge to push him up to be like, yeah, you know what, these are the favorites.
Jordan, what'd you think about Minter going to Baltimore?
Chargers defense was not bad. So Jesse Minter's not a terrible coordinator, but they did blow a lot of big leads, and that's right on him. I don't see it as a good or bad pick. It's just a meh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he's anything like his dad, I believe they called him Rick Nuclear Minter, former Kentucky Wildcat defense coordinator who absolutely sucked. Went on to be the Cincinnati Bearcats head coach, and when he was there, they absolutely sucked. So if he's anything like his father, he's going to absolutely suck, and I'm here for that. I'm all here for that. So I hope that's how it goes for him. Former Michigan defensive coordinator. So, Gordon, I thought you may have hated on this one a little bit more. But, yeah, I think that I like the hire for us, Gage, is all I'm going to say about this.
I think whenever he was a defensive coordinator, I think we beat him all the time. So, meh.
I think wasn't he on the national championship team? Wasn't
I
he the
don't
coordinator
know.
then? I think he was.
Well, if he was, then
maybe Moore was. I don't know. We're not going to talk
no.
about Teron Moore.
Sharon Moore was the assistant head coach.
Assistant to the head coach.
Yeah, well, actually, he was the assistant head coach because he actually coached whenever the sign stealer was suspended.
And the other head coaching position that was filled so far, the least exciting one to me, sorry, Gordon, the Dolphins hired Jeff Hafley as head coach.
Last time he's the head coach was at Boston College, and
Losing record.
they wasn't very impressive.
That's what I kind of think about this hiring here. Gage, what do you think here?
Thank God it was not. I think if you're looking at guys I don't want them to hire, A, Mike McCarthy, and B, Jeff Hafley. So I'm really glad I've avoided at least one of them. And if the other one comes true, I will cry. But yeah, they fire Mike McDaniel way later than we all expected. He goes and takes the coordinator job, and the Dolphins are like, all these candidates out here. All right. Hey, Hafley, you want a job? And he's like, yes, please. I don't think it's not going to go. It's not going to go well at all. It could prove me wrong. I will say that could prove me wrong.
I got a list of the people that they got going to try to replace him with. So when we get to it, I'll bring that up. Rumor mill.
Rumor mill.
Toby Levis.
Speaking of rumor mill, Gage, there's a rumor going around right now about the Pittsburgh Steelers that they may be looking at Miami, the U's head coach, Mario Cristobal. What do you think about Mario Cristobal coming to the NFL, taking over Pittsburgh?
I don't know much about Cristobal because I don't watch much college. But if you're going to hire from a school in college ball, you want it to probably be one of those top teams out there. And the U's right up there. So maybe you do it. I don't think they will. I think they're going to be looking for someone that has a bunch of NFL experience as a head coach or a coordinator, not someone who could only win one Super Bowl with 2 Hall of Famers and 4-time MVP players.
Gordon knows all about that one.
Too well.
Who's done less with more, right?
I wouldn't mind it, but I don't think they're going to go that route. I think it's going to be probably Chris Shula. I'm looking at the odds right now.
Flores just signed as defensive coordinator once again, signed an extension with the Vikings, so he's out.
What kind of? He's out, but teams could still interview him and offer him a job. I was very confused reading him because it's like he could still take a job. Else, I don't understand that. But like looking at the odds right now, Chris Shula minus 125, Nathan Shieldhouse plus 350, the name who shall not be mentioned plus 400, and then Sean McDermott plus 600, Brian Flores 12-1, Clint Kubiak 33-1, Anthony Weaver.
I'm going to put a $30 wager on the thing that should not be named.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and do that so you can lose your money.
Oh, I can't wait till we come on here next week, and that's going to be the first headline I'm popping up off on here. Mike McCarthy will be your Pittsburgh Steelers' next head coach. Yeah.
Well, he is a Pittsburgh guy.
He is. You want to keep it all in Pittsburgh, right?
No. I think when they hire, it'll be after the season. Because a lot of the guys that they're looking at, like right now, are still in the playoffs.
What about, let me throw out a name here. He's not likely to leave where he's at right now. Curt Cignetti. Would you take him?
I'm impressed with what he did in Indiana in the 1 year that he had. They went from, a 3-win team to national freaking champions. And that's very impressive. But like I said earlier, I want a younger guy. Because I don't want to be, in 5 years looking for another quarterback or another head coach because he decided to retire.
He's young at heart.
He's young at heart. Watching his speeches that he did, like before the season started at different sporting events or whatever, I'm pumped up. All right. And I'm not an Indiana fan. I don't know. I don't think he'll leave it. But if he did, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, Gordon, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I know the coach that Pittsburgh needs, a younger guy. He's got fire, and he's from the Nick Saban coaching tree, much like Curt Cignetti, Dan Lanning from Oregon. Now, he does a lot with less.
Look,
he comes from a good tree.
if you want somebody coming from a good tree of coaching, I've got the perfect guy for you right now, and he resides in Cincinnati, Ohio. Zachary Taylor. I will drive him to Pittsburgh right there for you. He was come from the tree of Sean McVay, good coaching tree right there. Gage, let's do this. Let's do it. I was pulling for Mike McCarthy, but now I'm talking myself into let's give you Zach Taylor.
I'll make you a deal. You do that, and I want you to take Arthur Smith back to Cincinnati. You can have him as your.
Can I dump him into the river?
I don't care what you do. In your car.
Maybe I should say that on this podcast. Might be thinking we're plotting to do something here, and that's not what's happening.
He's in your car, he's all yours. I don't care what you do.
Man, but yeah, so there's the Gordon. Go ahead and give us the rumor mill since we just talked about your defensive coordinator going to the Dolphins. Who you got as a candidate here? Give us some juicy candidates here.
Okay, I want to bring this up since y'all were bringing up Indiana because I wasn't expecting y'all to talk about Indiana. The Heisman Trophy winner won the Heisman Trophy and did nothing to deserve it, but the play he made in the national championship game, that was a Heisman moment.
Yes.
When he rushed that touchdown in, that was a Heisman moment. He earned a trophy months after he won it. But hey, at least he finally did something to earn it. Anyways, rumor mill. Okay, I'm gonna give you the ones that I would be for. First one is Al Harris. Right now, he's the passing game coordinator for the Chicago Bears. He's with Dallas before because Mike McCarthy took him there. But he was a Green Bay Packers cornerback for almost a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a coming home thing. Second one is Jim Leonard. He played safety at University of Wisconsin. Another more like a coming home party. Okay, Raheem Morris is on the rumor mill. They actually interviewed Al Harris. So it's a little bit more of a rumor. They just haven't until they sign it. To me, it's just a rumor. I don't care if they interviewed or not. Then two home ones are already on the team. DeMarcus Covington and Derek Ainsley.
I thought you were going to say DeMarcus Cousins. I was like, I would not go for that right there. Boogie.
Hey, baby. Anyways,
totally different sport.
Okay, Christian Parker. He's the pass game coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then there was one, and I swear to God, I hope it is just a rumor, because my answer it would be no, hell no, and what the hell are you thinking no? And that's Eberflus. Are you serious? He was with the Bears, and we kicked his ass every time he was the head coach of the Bears. And I mean bad. It wasn't even close. Then he goes to Dallas.
Worst defense in the NFL.
And we kicked his ass in Dallas when they had Micah Parsons. No, don't be in negotiations. Don't be in talks. I'm sorry, Gage, but that would be worse than Mike McCarthy head coaching your team as Eberflus being the defensive coordinator of my team. Anybody's team.
I thought Gordon was going to say we don't negotiate with terrorists.
No, we don't. We don't negotiate with terrorists. I would let him pay me to coach my team. I mean, he's horrible.
Speaking of horrible, so those are your defensive candidates, right, for coordinator, Gordon?
That's the one that's been rumored so far.
All right, so we'll see which way they go there.
I'm actually pulling for Al Harris or Jim Leonard. Now, don't get me wrong, Raheem Morris wouldn't be bad either.
No, I think he'd be.
But he'd be there a year and gone. So
yeah, because he's going to get a head coaching job somewhere else next year for sure.
Right.
So speaking of horribleness, New England Patriots defeated the Houston Texans last week, 28-16. And you want to talk about a bad quarterback performance? Gordon, I know you like this guy pretty well, but he did not play good at all Sunday. C.J. Stroud.
He played like
in the first half.
He played like the alien, and I'm not talking about the outer space alien. I'm talking about those alien out there. In transit, walking around and never seen a football before. That's what he played. That's the alien he reminded me of. It looked like E.T. phoning home. Anyways.
Pretty rough day for him. Yeah. And, Drake May, they won the game. He's turned the ball over a few times himself, fumbled the ball a few times at least in this game. Nobody wanted the ball. I was listening to this on the radio for the most of it, then I caught the end of it. But, like, the whole time I was listening to it, they're like, C.J. Stroud throws a pick. And I'm like, okay. Drake May fumbles. I'm like, what's going on here, guys? Nobody wants the ball. What's going on?
Right when you sent me that message, nobody wants the ball, there was a play on the field where they fumbled, and a Patriot had it, and a Texan had it, and a Patriot had it. It was all one fumble. They were scrambling for the ball. But when you said that, I was like, are they announcing this on the fucking radio? You said nobody wants the ball. I looked, I said, damn, really?
It was crazy to me, that game right there. I mean, it was snowy. I get it was snowy, but man, come on.
Texas defense did not play like they play like the Texas defense from their inaugural year.
You know what they played like, Gordon? They played like a team that plays in the dome that had to go play in a snowstorm. You know, not used to it.
No, they played like dogs. Let's just put it out there. I mean, I could almost smell the defense from the TV. It was horrible.
Gage, what'd you think about this game here? I mean,
I mean, the defense didn't help. But what didn't help is CJ Stroud throwing the 4 interceptions. All of them, 3 out of 4 of them were on first down. So that hurts you right there. One of them was returned for a pick.
Yeah.
So defense let up 21 points, then you could say, to the Patriots. And even then, a lot of them were off the picks. So they were working with short field already. But what hurt the Texans the most is the run game. And I'm talking about offensive run. Now, I got really confused here real quick. I just Googled Texans schedule, pulled up the game. Woody Marks. He goes by Woody, Google, not I don't.
I've never heard them call him Jaquavius Marks. It's always been Woody. Even in college at USC, it was Woody Marks.
Yeah, so Google, can we get that changed? But he had 14 carries for 17 yards, 1.2. Nick Chubb, 4 for 14. TJ, 2 for 11. And Cade Stover had 2 for 6. I mean, what's that? That's 31, 42, 48 total rushing yards.
And they didn't rush enough either.
No. I mean, 18, 22 rushing yards. Like, that's not enough. When your quarterback's playing, you should try to get the ball in your more often. I think we all said on this game last week, we all expect a big booty game. He came out 3 for 75 and a touchdown. We'll take it. Then you got Stephon Diggs, 4 for 40 and a touchdown. Mario Douglas, 2 for 36 and a touchdown. Drake May didn't play horrible, but he didn't play great.
Fumbled the ball 4 times, lost 2 of them.
Yeah. So 3 total turnovers, 1 pick, 3 touchdowns, 179 yards. Surprisingly enough, that's enough for a 100.7 quarterback rating. You know, CJ Stroud at 28. But that game should not have been as close as it was. Brian, I think when we were messaging, I told you that there was no reason for the Texans team the Patriots should have just blown out. For it to be a 12-point game, no reason for that. That's why I'm a little worried.
We'll talk about that here in just a second. It should be interesting.
It's
coming up here in just a little bit. I think I may see where you're going here, but we'll find out in a little bit. But yeah, what is just a disappointing. The first game of the weekend was a great game. Overtime. The next 2 games, not so much. I mean, I like snow games as much as the next guy, but man, that led to a lot of sloppy play from both teams here. And you know, it just wasn't good football really on that one there. But we'll go on now to the last game of the weekend. And this one was one of the more entertaining games of the weekend. The LA Rams defeat the Bears 20-17 in overtime. Gordon, what was that you were saying earlier about the Bears? He's low here somehow.
I said, screw the Bears.
Hey, there we go. There it is. So we were all messaging. I mean, I was messaging Gordon, messaging Gage on this game here. What a game this was, guys. This was a good game right here.
Shouldn't have been.
But it was a good game.
Shouldn't have been.
Colston Loveland, great game. Goes out. Cole Kmet comes in, gets the touchdown to send it to overtime. And the stat book, I think, goes down as like a 26-yard pass. And Caleb threw that like a jumper in basketball from like a 40. I don't know what the defensive back was doing.
Caleb Williams is sticking his painted fingernail in the football god's butt and blowing him, I'm telling you. Because that pass to be complete, to complete a 45-yard pass on 4th and 4 on the 16.
So my wife come in there towards the end of this game, and she sat down right at that play right there. And I'm like, I'm just going to watch see what happens here. And I said, then I'll be ready to go back to bed. She's like, okay. And that play happens while she's there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he completed that thing. And she's like, what? I'm like, I don't know what he's doing. He's going all the way back. It's like he's going the wrong way. And he throws that for a touchdown. She's like, oh, wow, that's cool. And I'm like, you don't understand. But I was like, that is a crazy play right there. I mean, it really was.
And I'll tell you exactly what I said. I'll say it again. It was horse shit.
What was it, Gage?
So you mean you didn't go back to bed then, right after that play?
No, I stayed up because I'm like, man, I got to watch overtime now. I mean, hey, I don't, Gordon, I know you hate the Bears. I'm not a Bears guy or anything like that. But tell me a more exciting team than the Bears this season. Like the games that they've played, they've been exciting, if nothing else.
They're horseshit.
I can't get him to get his bias hat off real quick. But hey, I don't blame you. If it was the Ravens, I'd say the same thing. But the Bears, they've been the most interesting team in football to watch because of the exciting games that they've had. I don't think Caleb Williams is necessarily good. I mean, 3 picks in this game, but man, he could be exciting.
He's horseshit.
I was very upset we come onto the podcast this week and the Packers fan doesn't have his nails.
Well, Caleb Williams did lose, so he got off the hook on that one.
That's I wasn't betting that anyways because, like I said, he blows the football gods and shoves his painted nail up their butt. I'm not going against that, but he's horseshit. The Bears are screwed. The Bears, they're horseshit. I don't like Chicago.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
I may one day. I may just let go and just say exactly how I feel.
So you know what I think the biggest thing was out of this game right here? Puka Nacua only had 56 yards receiving and 5 catches in this game. Like, what a down game for him.
For him, that is a down game.
It's just so funny to call that a down.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say that about like anybody else. Like if somebody else had one, you'd be like, okay, that's pretty cool. But Puka, it's like, man, he gets open, gets like 10 catches. What are you talking about? Oh, just 5. Now he did have several targets, but that's the weekend games there. I believe the first game and the last game of the weekend was the best 2 games of the weekend. The 2 in the middle were whatever. But that leads us to Sunday now, guys, and we're going to get into our picks here. The AFC Championship games where we start off. The Patriots travel to Denver to face the Denver Broncos at 3 o'clock on CBS or Paramount. The Patriots are a 4.5-point favorites. You may ask, wait a minute, isn't the Broncos at home and the number 1 seed in the conference? Why are they the underdogs? And then you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. Jarrett Stidham makes the start. Gordon, we know your disdain for the Broncos. I don't know if they're at the level where the Bears are right now, but what do you think in this one?
No, they're not nowhere near the Bears, and they never will be. But outside of my conference, my division, they're my number 1 most hated team outside of the NFC North. I do not have any faith in Jarrett Stickum, and he knows where he can stick him. Jarrett, he knows where he can stick him. I have no faith in him, so I'm going to take the New England Tom Brady's to beat the snot out of the Denver Raging Elways. Because I'm not sure if you're familiar, Gage. I don't know if he told you. I had a joke that the Denver Broncos owe John Elway a lot of money because they use his likeness on the side of their helmet. Because he's got that. John Elway walks into the bar. Bartender says, "Why the long face?" Yeah, the horse's ass. So the Raging Elways. I got the Patriots covering against the Raging Elways.
He's got so Gordon's rolling Patriots. Gage, what do you think here?
So we know that Jarrett Stidham, obviously he's, at least at this point, they could change up and just throw this along. But he's starting. They signed good old Ben DiNucci to the practice to be the emergency quarterback. But you might be asking yourself, who's second string? It's a very good question. So we go off of the official Denver Broncos website. They saw Bo Nix listed as quarterback. That would be number 4, Sam Ellinger. Any confidence in that quarterback room?
No, none.
I have none.
None.
Yeah, neither do I. But what I do have confidence in is the Broncos defense. Broncos defense. Yeah, we know last week the Patriots went against a team that had a very good defense, and they ended up winning. I'm just looking at DraftKings right now. I just want to see some lines. The Denver Broncos are plus 195 to win. I was just going to throw $1 on that because what? The over-under 42.5. I'll be taking under in this one. I don't think it's going to hit. If we're looking at passing props, the first +1 for Drake May, 240 plus, that gets you plus 122. Apparently, there's a lot of faith in Jarrett Stidham by DraftKings because 210 is plus 121. They also have 3+ touchdowns for Drake May plus 350. Jarrett Stidham, 2+ touchdowns plus 270. We're riding the Stidham train this week. Give me the underdog pick of the week. Denver Broncos, not because of Jarrett Stidham, but because of that defense. They're going to rely a lot on the running game, and I think it's going to work out. This is also me, saying that I don't want the Patriots back. Give me the Broncos in this one, and obviously they cover being the underdog.
So you're taking a home dog, Billy Guns.
The Do you guys know who drafted Jared Stidham in the NFL?
I think it's Wonderbill, wasn't it?
Yes, to be Tom Brady's backup in 2019. Obviously, things didn't work out the way he thought. So Jared Stidham now is playing in the AFC Championship against the team that drafted him. The biggest storyline of the week. Actually, it's not. The biggest storyline is Jared Stidham starting in an AFC Championship game at home as the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now, the New England Patriots last week, not their best game. Drake May, not his best game. Defense played pretty good, though. Jared Stidham, we really don't know how he's going to play this week. We haven't seen anything of him. I think he's played in a total of 4 games his whole NFL career. That's not a lot of preparation in 6 seasons that he's been in the league, 7 seasons, whatever it is now. Not a lot of time to be out there playing. Yeah, that's not the most ideal spot for the Broncos. They got a really good defense. But the Patriots also have a pretty good defense, opportunistic defense. Can they take advantage? I think that they will in this one. I think that the Patriots, look, if Drake May wins this game, he would have beaten 3 top 5 defenses in the NFL on his way to the Super Bowl. They would have earned that spot there. I think the Patriots win this one here, but I think that the Denver Broncos defense will keep it close and they cover. I think it's going to be an entertaining game only because we really don't know what Jared Stidham's going to give us out here. Is he going to be a game manager? Is he going to sling the rock around? Who knows? But I don't think he's going to give you the dynamics that Bo Nix give you. I don't think Jared Stidham's going to take off and run the ball like Bo Nix can to pick up the first down when he can. But we'll see how it goes. Give me the Patriots and give me a Broncos cover, though.
Evidently, the Broncos think just because Jared Stidham went to Auburn like Bo Nix that he's going to play like him.
Yeah,
doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's not the same.
I will tell you, though, I think the one advantage that Stidham has is that this was announced on Sunday. So he has the full week of practice. It's not like, Friday, Nix, he has to get surgery. Oh, no, Stidham has 1 day to prepare.
Yeah, maybe so. But we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be a good game, though, actually. I think it's actually going to be close. The next matchup we go to the NFC side in the NFC Championship. It's an NFC West matchup once again. The LA Rams travel to Seattle to face the Seattle Seahawks at 6:30 on Fox. Seattle is a 2.5-point favorite in this one. Gage, what do you think?
I think I'm going to roll with the road team here. I was about to say the Road Dogs, but the Rams are favored in this one, so I can't really.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Oh my God, I read that wrong. Give me the Road Dogs. Taking a look here, plus 120 for the Rams to win. 46.5 is the over. I can see that hitting the over, just because the Seahawks put up 41 last week. We know the Rams haven't played the best here recently, but they've been winning, and that's, in the end, all that matters. It's going to be hard. I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be good. Knowing that they're now the Dogs, give me the Road Dogs, Jesse James and the Rams, taking down the Seahawks, advancing to the Super Bowl. And maybe if your guys' prediction, right, we have a battle of the MVP favorites in the Super Bowl.
Gordon, what do you think?
Yeah, the two MVP and I got there is Matt Stafford and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Not Darnold. Jackson Smith and Jigba is more worthy of an MVP. I want to take the Rams because I like Devontae Adams for undisclosed reasons. I think it's because he had something to do with this team up here, but I can't be quite sure if that's why or not. But I can't because for some reason, and I'm doing this just to see if he'll lose because I don't like this. I don't like the Sea Chickens, but I don't want to not pick him and be wrong again like I was last week. I really don't like the Sea Chickens, and that play he's talking about 10, 11 years ago is one of the main reasons why I don't like the Sea Chickens. But I'm going to take the Sea Chickens to cover, and why I don't have any idea. Maybe it's just because of the Ohio State receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba that plays for him. I don't know. The run game was pretty good. Kenneth Walker ran his ass off last week.
They're without Zach Charbonnet, though, this week.
Well, Kenneth Walker was getting all their yards anyway. So
you're going Seattle. Gage is going the Rams. Chickens. So that leads it now to me to break the tie. These two games right here, the NFC West right here, these two played earlier in the season in LA. The Rams beat them by 2, 21-19. A few weeks back, they go to Seattle. They play on that Thursday night. Seattle wins that game by 1. They go for 2, and they beat the Rams. 2 games decided by 3 points between these two teams. Once again, man, this game is going to be I think this is going to be a really good game. This is going to be the better of the two championship games right here. I can see it going either way. Gage, you asked if the Super Bowl is going to be a future MVP battle between Drake May and Matt Stafford. I don't think so. I think that Seattle wins this game at home. They get the win, but they don't cover that 2.5 because they can't win by more than 2 because it hasn't happened between these two teams all year. Give me the Seahawks in this one, and I think that the Rams cover it, though. So there we go.
This is either going to be a really good week for me or really bad.
Yeah, it could be the same for us as well. So we'll see how it goes. But
I could be 0-2.
Be 0-2. We could all be 1-1. It all depends. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Gage has got the Broncos and the Rams, and me and Gordon's got the Seahawks and the Patriots. A rematch of at least 2 Super Bowls. No, one. Just 1 Super Bowl. Sorry. Yeah.
The Jarrett Stidham Stafford Bowl is going to be.
Yeah. Can't wait for that one right there. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, after this week, we'll have Pro Bowl week next week, guys. You excited?
Not really.
Like next week we could talk, was it NFL honors next week? Is it next week or the week after? I think it's the week after when we do it, but whatever. There's going to be something going on.
We got to do the recap.
Yeah, we'll do the recap. We'll talk about, the Steelers hiring Mike McCarthy. We'll lead off the show next week with that. That'll be great. But Gage, hey, if you feel like you're down and out a little bit, you're not feeling so well, may I suggest you go to w.gg, use our promo code Yellen, save 10% at checkout. BW, be better. Gage, you've ordered some W here recently that's supposed to come in. It hasn't come in yet, but when it does, you're going to taste it out live on air here. Tell us what flavor you got this past time.
Yeah, so it didn't come in because I'm an idiot. I completely forgot that this past Monday was a holiday, so that pushed it back here a little bit. And who knows if it's actually going to get here on time just because of the snowstorm that's supposed to affect a good chunk of the country here this coming weekend. But it is supposed to be here by Monday, so hopefully we have it next week. And it is the one that I mentioned on podcast last week. Stuff on it. I'm excited just to show off the tub, let alone taste it, because it looks pretty good. I will say, I'm not a morning person. Anyone that knows me, I know my gram watches the time. And I know she knows that I'm not a morning person. Every weekend she would call me, and I'm still sleeping. It's 10:30. And I have to wake up now for work. My alarm goes off at 6:30? Yeah, 6:30, 6:15. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. And I make myself a W, take it to work. By noon, it's all gone. And I'm like, all right, we're ready to get through the second half of the day. And it's one of those drinks that doesn't give you the jitters, doesn't give you the shakes. So you don't have to worry about it. So it's good, clean energy and 10% off at checkout using code YELLING at w.gg. What more could you have?
Yep. BW, be better, right? That's what we got to go for there. But yeah, so that is our picks for this week, both of them, and recapping of the games and recapping of the coaching carousel that's spinning around. Guys, you got anything else you want to add here, Gage? You want to mention any baseball news here with the Mets signing a bunch of people and the Dodgers signing a bunch of people, overpaying people, and meanwhile the Reds and the Pirates are just still hanging out here?
So the one that I want to mention is from here. It was a trade that happened earlier today with the Rangers acquiring Mackenzie Gore from the Nationals. Now, you might be like, if you're just a casual baseball fan, you know the name Mackenzie Gore. He was an all-star last year with a 5-15 record and a 4.17 ERA. Now, he was good in the first half of the season, second half of the season, whatever. But it blows my mind what the Rangers gave up for him. They gave up 5 top 20 prospects in their farm. I'm not going to go through and read all the names because I don't frankly know any of the people. But for a guy with a 5-15 record last year, he has a career 4.19 ERA. And you give up that much? If none of those prospects hit, it's going to come back and bite the Nationals in the behind. We could also talk about maybe a little Bo Bichette news or a little Kyle Tucker news, Cody Bellinger. But I prefer not to because MLB, you need a salary cap.
They need a salary cap because what did Kyle Tucker get? 4 years, how many million? 40, something like that?
Too much. He got too much million.
For
What did
Kyle Tucker. For Kyle Tucker, we're not talking, Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani. We're talking Kyle Tucker getting $260 million a year for Kyle Tucker. Now, Gordon,
Kyle Tucker, trucker. Yeah.
Pretty much. That's overpay for him. Cody Bellinger got, was it 160 some million for 5 years? Overpaid on him too. Meanwhile, they're overpaying for these not even superstars. And this is why the Reds can't go get anybody. And the Pirates, like teams like them, they can't get anybody because if you want to get like just a decent player, you're going to have to pay that much for them. The Reds and the Pirates don't have the money to do that. So they go to these big teams like this, big market teams. And then here you are. This is why you need a salary cap. MLB needs a salary cap. They have to have one.
You need a cap, you need a floor, and you need punishments for teams that go over the cap. Now you might be like, oh, the Dodgers, they're paying the luxury tax. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
They have the cash flow coming in. Fans will still go to the stadium and buy an $18 beer or a $12 hot dog, maybe a $15 box of pop, and you're supporting it. It doesn't make any sense. And you need some sort of, like, if you look at the Yankees, they haven't really drafted here. So you might be like, get rid of draft picks then. Well, the Yankees don't care. They'll just go and spend the money, take the punishment, bring in stuff. So what do you got to do? You say, you know what? Fine, you go over it by this much, or you go over it at all, your postseason bid. I don't care if you go 162-0. Your postseason bid is on.
Yeah, you've got to make it somewhat competitive for the rest of the league here. And you've got the New York Mets out here now spending money like crazy. Now, they did it last offseason too, bringing in Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor a couple of seasons ago, and overpaying these guys as well. And it didn't get them anywhere. And now they're trying the same thing with Bichette. And who else did they get? Luis Robert. They got him too. So it's crazy, man, how much these guys make over there in Major League. And the Reds can't pay anybody. Not even close to
that. They also traded yesterday to get Freddie Peralta from Milwaukee, which I'm okay with.
I'm fine with it too. Get him out of the division. I don't know.
That's frustrating. That Freddie Peralta trade is one of those that you look at if you're in like a fantasy league and you're like, where's the commissioner to veto this?
Yeah, they're loading up on all the players while we're over here with, Homer Bailey and all these other guys. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to bring that up. No hitting.
Yeah. Stuff. I'm surprised the Pirates haven't gone out and re-signed or just signed like some 15-year-old veteran in baseball to a 1-year deal to trade away.
That's all we can afford, though, at this point in time.
Just waiting for the news that we signed Rich Hill again.
Why not? Oh, but do you all have anything else you want to add here at the end of this show here before we wrap it up?
No, I don't know too much about baseball people. I watch baseball, but I don't know too much about the players right now.
Yeah, it's baseball's frustrating right now, but hey, we still got a couple more NFL games, 3 more NFL games to be, in fact, unless you want to count the Pro Bowl games, and then we'll be on to baseball after that. But guys, we'll catch you all in the next one.
Later.